Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and in this mini-series we'll be talking about the story and flavor behind each of the clans on Tarkir. If you're unsure what you want to play at pre-release, maybe one of these clans is the perfect fit for you. We'll start by looking at the clan based in White Mana, the Abzan houses. The Abzan represent one thing above all else: endurance. They understand that the world is a brutal place, and to succeed, they must always be on their guard and trust one another with their lives. This fundamental knowledge fuels the two main aspects of Abzan society: duty and family. Family is of utmost importance to the Abzan. They believe that the institution of family is what's allowed them to survive and grow in the harsh world they're a part of, both in terms of where they live, the desert, and who they live near, namely the Mardu and Sultai. Because family is so important to the Abzan, they do not trust outsiders. The only group that has been able to win them over, so to speak, is the Ainok. This is only because a long time ago, the Ainok helped the first Abzan humans survive in the desert. If it weren't for the Ainok, the Abzan people could very well not exist. The clan is split up into a number of families. Each of these families is run by the eldest member. Because the desert doesn't exactly support the clan food-wise, each family is responsible for taking care of a tree. Each of these trees bears fruit and is responsible for feeding the entire family. The firstborn child in each family takes care of the trees, while the rest of the descendants watch over it as if it were an important treasure that must be guarded. A lot of meaning is placed into these trees. Not only are they the primary food sources for the Abzan, but they're also the ritualistic burial grounds for fallen Abzan soldiers. When a family member dies, they're buried without a casket beneath the tree of their family. This is done so that their nutrients will be absorbed by the tree and they can continue to support their family after death. If you take anything out of this video, it should be that duty to the family is the most important thing to the Abzan houses. Seriously, it's really intense. The Abzan are particularly skilled at waging war. Unlike some of the other clans, they don't seek out battles to merely defeat their enemies. All they care about is survival and the ability to thrive as a clan. If another clan happens to encroach on their land or disrupt their trade routes, well, that's their problem. As far as war strategy is concerned, they are the definition of patient. They only fight when they have to, and when they do fight, they never take unnecessary risks. The Abzan hide behind their huge walls with ample supplies as they attempt to outlast most of their opponents. This concept of endurance cannot be understated. That's actually how they fight. Once they have the advantage, they crush the enemy with a power unmatched by anyone else. Their goal is to leave no trace there was even an enemy to fight. If this wasn't intimidating enough, the Abzan have a habit of taking the children of their fallen enemies and adopting them into the clan. They then raise them as part of their various families and eventually lead them into battle against the same clans that they took them from. The best example of this is Var Barzil. He's an orc and the commander of the adopted orphans. He was taken from the Mardu when he was very young and was then raised by the Abzan to be a fierce warrior. He knows he's from Mardu, but the Abzan has been all he knows for so long, and he's proud of that. The lore suggests that he and Zergo Helm Smasher are destined to fight each other, orc versus orcs. Jeez. In conclusion, at least in their battle strategies, the Abzan are patient, brutal, and wickedly intelligent. Scary stuff. Imagine a giant wheel rolling toward you and there's nothing you can do to stop it. That's the Abzan. They just make you feel powerless. I mentioned before that the clan was split into houses or families. Each of these families has its own leader. You would think that this might cause conflict within the clan. Yeah, nope. While there are petty political problems between families, every single Abzan citizen recognizes that their strength is dependent on their unity. So while they may fight amongst themselves, they put everything aside when dealing with the outside world. In this spirit, they appoint a Khan to handle the clan's defense as a whole, an overarching leader who is responsible solely for the protection of the clan in general. This Khan is Anafenza. Anafenza is a fierce leader. She always rides into battle on a chariot pulled by a pair of ibex. She also always leads the charge from the front lines. This is so her entire army can see her at any moment. That's pretty sweet. She also usually has an elite guard of Aven warriors with her wherever she goes. Anafenza resides inside Murek Fortress, which protects Erishin, the capital and most important city in the Abzan territory. Very much in line with her clan's thinking, she never starts a war just to fight. She only engages in battle when the Abzan are threatened in some way. Also, you remember that whole thing about them not leaving any trace of their enemies? Direct quote from Anafenza right here. "We do not pile the skulls of our enemies, nor make them into ornaments. We grind them into dust. We leave nothing for their families to weep over, nothing for their descendants to honor." Okay, she scares the crap out of me. Also, this might explain why her second ability hoses graveyards. She doesn't believe in them. It's so cool. After reading up on the Abzan, I must say they are seriously cool. If you're repping the white, green, black clan at pre-release, let me know in the comments. We still have 4 more clans to go, so if you're interested in one or more of the other clans, I'd love to hear which ones you're excited about. I love the story and magic. It's seriously one of my favorite things about the game. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Khans of Tarkir spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus, I'm Wedge, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.